Panditarama Forest Dhamma Kabaya Yaga Layaviro Tia Atuchare Asha Swinyo Kaba Swinyo Santala Swinyo Swinyo Tonda Tore Pugum Yao Puiruga Buddha Aluja, Jesus Yamai Sarovyayi Ovalaro Dai. Tama less Hong Kong, the body Pierre went away. Can you Boguria Leva Chinana? Can you just a little bit? Tabilo went away. Swimyo Budia, Poilu de Diva. Who is Jonas on Negama? A quinta long body? Kuyara Jojizu Yaya Nene Jungani Babe Eradine Shindy Notundala Nevigo Niteku Tala Boledi Twins Shibon Chosema Sayabiro Atujaro on Unidine Pisere on Unia Tema Babe. No said the other Mahobo. 1 hour a minute, only young Pierre, I tell you my power. Tito the show level Piama Pietro, Pianapogori, Thomas Suyu PV Bolly, Martina Chalidi Leve, Buddha Lija, Maja Shira Leve, Tuchobido, Mabo.
Today, at the Panditarama Forest Center, Sayadawgyi is happy that he has been able to give the Dhamma gift to the yogis who have come here from all over the world, his Asian relatives, his world relatives, and his relatives in samsara. And he is happy to see that among the yogis there are those who have taken this gift and used it, put it to use. When he has the chance like this to help, he feels it is a very, very beneficial and rewarding task to do. And today, although Indika said that this is a farewell speech, it's really just to mark this point in time, which is almost the end of January 2016. It's not to say farewell, but for those who have to leave the center now, Sayadawgyi would like to give some instructions, and these are according to what the Buddha taught.
Buddha Sabima Vipassana Shudunga Tata Fipwadi Suri Chivare Piaquari Hodarababe Vipassana Sura Chiga Gujiti Lari Piso Piro Pitamasu 3 view some Sentadura Dai Kure Savilo Lini Bode Ayoni Podum Bozefa Boli Siasai Chilaga Vilo Susan Shimata Tashina Secretary Susani Rabon Tashina Secretary Aki Dolushi Yona Panchadima Sense Yanadi Pola Chowna Jose Sister Poli Latila Ravana Session Lucia Yona Chamjudiari Bobilo Ploga Bonidi Polygon Sina Bonidi China Adamabatu Padivada Tamalanga Day Dhamma the Timine, the body, Dhamma the lady will Timina. Here I go, but not Kurava. But not Shula Boguma, Tadadiari Chupare. The Kayashi Madiari go good lettery Adolo. Korean Pilavi solution. Padugama Yonji Valo, Johnny Wumloro. Go the never go Yakanara. Adolo Dinya to the daughter Nemia Yakane, a deep some Chare, Tata Dia Tet or Rabe. Hello Tata Dia Muda Sechaya Vale. Korean Yane sits a video. Chipola Tata Dia Muda Mangane Tata Dia Chibido go to what is show Loma Boli Fogo and the Neboli Patone. The Muja Nivaria Yungilo Yassima Video Yungia de Hare. The Ari Madoko Ato Video Pia de Hare. Era Muaro Tatadia Sissi people to think about. Kurin Yamim Hobuzo Shelo Eddie Apoma Secha Lecha. Yanette when you did have your belly of Kenemo. Hello, Matija, Tadatiamu. Yogi Muna Kidoera. Go play. And then Yare Lane Lanshawa the Luave. A Gulu Galara, Diari Adolu, Diari, a season team, you Kaimare Tata Diari Shidavi solution. But what is so lump sound Barababe? Some young father to Rababetama. A little Kaimare, Tijare, Kainche, you Yashio, Julu de Bababe.
In the Buddhist texts, it says that one who practices vipassana develops faith. This is what the Buddha actually said. Vipassana means to establish sila, morality, as a base. And then, as is said, note or observe at every arising, always guard the mind. To put the mind in your body and with effort and aim, to observe steadfastly and to develop the clean mind. When the clean mind becomes fully energized, then starting with the discernment of mind and matter, knowledge blossoms. Continuing from here, one comes to see how mind and matter are related as cause and effect. And when one continues to practice, one comes to see how mind and matter, related as cause and effect, arise and then pass away. Because they arise and then pass away, they are unsatisfactory. And they are also mere process, just dhammas, empty phenomena. To see like this is vipassana. And the one who practices vipassana, for the one who develops vipassana, faith arises. So when one comes to see within one's being the dhammas, which are really there as they are, then no one needs to urge you to believe, to have faith, because one acknowledges with one's own intelligence what one has seen. So when one practices and develops knowledge, decisive faith which is able to decide this is really true, arises. And only this type of informed faith or decisive faith is reliable. Only the faith that is connected with knowledge of what is inside you, of your own internal personal knowledge, is reliable faith. And only this type of faith will be a good companion for you for the rest of your life. If one just believes because one's parents told one, or because one read it, it won't be able, just based on this, to have true faith. If one has no personal knowledge, no personal vision, then no decisive faith will arise. And to walk through life with only unreliable faith is like walking along a very dangerous path. So now, to developing knowledge stage by stage and developing faith because of the knowledge that one has gained, one can walk one's life the entire way straight along the path and practices to get this type of faith.
Dhamma ဆိုတဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ကိုလည်းပဲကောင်းကောင်းနားလည်သွားမှာဓမ္မဆိုတာဆောင်ထားတယ်မှတ်ထားတယ်ဆိုတဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ရပါတယ်ဆောင်ထားမှတ်ထားတဲ့သဘောတဲ့ဒီနည်းအားဖြင့်လည်းပဲအောက်တန်းမချရအောင်လို့အပေါ်ဆွဲကျင်ထားတဲ့ဓမ္မဆွဲကျင်ထားတဲ့သဘောလို့အဖက်ဖက်ကအနှောက်အယှက်ကြီးကင်းအောင်လို့ဆောက်ရှုပ်တတ်တဲ့သဘောလို့ဒီလိုလည်းပဲအဓိပ္ပာယ်ယူရပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါဓမ္မပါပဲသို့တော့အဲ့ဒီဓမ္မကစာအုပ်ထဲရဲ့ဓမ္မမဟုတ်ဘူးဆရာကြီးပြောတဲ့ဓမ္မမဟုတ်ဘူးအခုလိုနိမန်လမ်းမှတိုင်းကျင့်တော့လို့ကိုယ်တဏ္ဍာမှာရရှိထားတဲ့အတ္တိတရားနဲ့အကျင့်တရားအဲ့ဒါဓမ္မပါအတ္တိတရားမရှိလည်းပဲကိုယ်ဘဝကိုမဆယ်တင်နိုင်ဘူးမနိုင်ဘူးအတ္တိတရားလည်းရှိထားမှာအတ္တိတရားတော့ရှိတော့ရှိပါရဲ့ဒါပေမဲ့လို့လက်တွေ့မကြည့်ဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းဘဝအစဉ်တမမြင်ဘူးကျတော့ဘဝအစဉ်တမြင်လို့တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်အထူးအဖြစ်အောက်တမ်းမကြလို့တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေကိုယ်ဘဝကိုမြင့်တင်တဲ့နည်းမရမလို့ရှာဖို့ရတယ်ရပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းကိုယ်ဘဝကိုကျင့်သုံးပြီးတော့ဗောလေဓမ္မကျင့်သုံးပြီးတော့ဆွဲတင်ရတယ်ဆွဲတင်လို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီလက်တွေ့ကျင့်သုံးရတဲ့ဓမ္မကကျင့်သုံးတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကိုအောက်တမ်းကြရအောင်လို့အမြဲတမ်းဆွဲမှထားလို့လာပဲအမြဲတမ်းဆောက်ရှုပ်လို့လာပဲဆိုရတဲ့ဘဝဆိုးတွေလည်းမရောက်ရအောင်အခုလိုလူဘဝမျိုးမှလည်းပဲကြာလည်းမကြာရအောင်ဘုန်းနဲ့သူကတော့ဆောင်မထားတာတဲ့ဘယ်လိုပုဂ္ဂိုလ်မျိုးလဲဆိုတော့ကျင့်ဤမှသိပြီးတော့လက်တွေ့ကျင့်ဆောင်တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်မျိုးကိုတဲ့လို့ဆိုလိုပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါအခုလာရောက်ပြီးတော့ကဘာရရကကျင့်သုံးတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေဟာအဲ့ဒီဓမ္မကိုအခုလက်တွေ့ကျင့်သုံးနေကြတာပါကျင့်သုံးလို့အခုရဲ့နလဖြစ်သွားပါပြီအောင်မြင်ဖြစ်သွားပါပြီဝန်တာဆရာပါပဲ
One will know, one will understand the meaning of the word Dhamma. Dhamma has the meaning of something which carries or bears a person, or it pulls up, it elevates, or it frees one from the disturbances that it frees one from the disturbances that come at one from all sides. This is what Dhamma is. And this is not book Dhamma, or Dhamma that is said by teachers. It is Dhamma that one comes to know personally because of systematic practice. It is the knowledge that one gains for oneself. And only if there is personal knowledge of the Dhamma can the Dhamma elevate one's life. And if people want to have a high standard of living, a high status in life, and most importantly, not to go down, not to decline in life, then one has to search for this type of method, this reliable method for bettering one's life. And having found the method, one needs to use it. And if one does, one puts it to use systematically, then this Dhamma that one practices will always protect one, so that one won't reach a low type of existence, and also so that one will not have to travel a long time throughout existence. Who is it that the Dhamma protects in this way? The Dhamma protects the one who practices according to the correct method, who practices according to the Dhamma. The people who have come here to practice are using this Dhamma. They're putting it into practice. And now it has been 2 months of practice, and this has been successful, and it is cause for happiness.
အဲ့ဒီကျင့်ပြီးမှတရားနဲ့ကျင့်ပြီးမှတရားအတိုင်းပေါ့လေကျင့်သုံးမှုအရှင်းမရှိဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့တကယ်အမှန်တရားကိုကြီးကိုမသိတော့တရားကိုလည်းမယုံကြည်ပါဘူးတရားမယုံကြည်ဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီအမှန်တရားကိုပေါ်ထုတ်တော်မူတဲ့ဘုရားကိုလည်းပဲဘယ်နည်းနဲ့မှမယုံပါဘူးတရားတော်အတိုင်းရိုးသားသားကြည်သုံးနေတဲ့သန့်ရှင်းတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တို့ရှိတယ်ဆိုတော့လည်းမယုံကြည်ပါဘူးဒီနည်းနဲ့ပဲဒီပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ဟာအမှန်တရားကိုယုံကြည်မှုတွေမဲ့ပြီးတော့ဝိဉာဉ်ရဲ့အပြောကောဟောကောပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေနဲ့တွေ့တဲ့အခါမှာအဲ့ဒီပဲပါပြီးတော့ဗောလေယုံကြည်တော့တာပဲအဲ့ဒီယုံကြည်မှုဟာအဲ့ဒီယုံကြည်သူဟာမုဒ္ဒပသနာတဲ့အတိညာမပါဘဲနဲ့ယုံကြည်တာတဲ့ရိုင်းတဲ့စကားနဲ့ပြောလို့ရှိရင်တော့မိုက်မိုက်ကံကံအရာယုံကြည်တာတဲ့အဲ့ဒီမိုက်မိုက်ကံကအရာယုံကြည်တဲ့ပိုက်ရောက်သွားရင်မကနဲ့လမ်းကြောင်းဆွဲတင်ပြီးဖို့ရအများကြီးခက်ရတော့ပါပြီ
If there is no knowledge of the correct method of practice, and therefore no practice, if neither of these things are present, then because one doesn't know the virtues of the Dhamma, one won't have any faith in it. And without faith in the Dhamma, there will be no faith in the person who taught the Dhamma. And also there will be no faith in those who have practiced according to the system of the Dhamma and achieved purity. So without this type of faith, when one encounters someone who is a good speaker, one will follow. One will be convinced just by hearing a good speaker. So there's a word in Pali for a person who believes in this way. It's called vipassana. That means that if we were to say in a kind of perhaps rude way, it's one who believes foolishly, in a stupid way. So it would be very difficult for this type of belief in something foolish, this type of foolish belief, to help one in any way or to save one.
Tini Amchileve Buddha Pasana Sravali Buddha Pasana Sura Chini Suraga Anitarame Pamshiro Baba Taylor, Baba Nitaram, Anitara Sura, Duri Masoloshi, Kuchidiave. Kagano, Siva, something Yari, Pamazo, Sas Shawama. Tiraha Ludadi, Pamazo, Siwatakuba, Shiva Siwatakuba. Mitata, Chinatanayame. Mitagula Chikamio, Tuba Naluyame, Buddha Poyame. Tukane to Kauna Sura, Kita, Ulevekua, Pemazwa, Tanayama Chiga, Sene Sitari, Tadulu Sitata de Kore. Atuda Guru Dribra, Tiari, Atu Bido, Mati Kauna, Solution, Tashina Seglady. She no Tansi, the guy was St. Janita. Tiba Yuna Bancha Dimasa, since Yanadi Puna. Whether any piece of love is a share. But what I call a Yuna kissing here, the video. I put up a Yuna kissing here. That is a sight for a Yodora. Kanzamu Kene Shanda Boli Kanzamu Boli Nijane Shanda to Yadora. That is the Yoga Visual. Ludinia Shiviro, Lutel Lufidora Erari Anitara River Tilatica, Tomatica, Piatica, Eri Anitara Eri Anitara Kuma Shio Lulu Shitwavi Solution Kiboko Ha Lupita Dwavi, Lulu Sayadawgyi, Sayadawgyi, Ludinia Chivila Luta Dwavi. That is a Yogaluchi, Buddha Padana Boli. A Shindi, Bama, David Mijidari, Mayojiro. I don't know such a young by me of the solution or Jiwa Mio Jimina nobody, however, Muta Patana, Mamekanga, Mota de Yujidate, Muta Patana, Bama de Yamishia, whatever Yujidate, Edilo solution or Edi Lumaipuaga, Beroma, Mateto Babu, Udamatiari, Atu de Sura. Lumaiboga, Luau, Saraboli, Juzaya, Sura, now Levido Boli, Gutia Latu de Poguria, Lima Lanzi of Puentobi, Puento de Lanzi, Mapia, Maria Tao, Sepio Maru Shava, Suraboli, now Levido, Punet Lango, Mapia or Lucele, Shonani Java, Suraboli. Yangani, California, two Luso Taitun at the Wabe.
In another way, besides Moda Pasana, which I just explained, it can also be, the word can also be said to be Muda Pasana, which is spelled differently. And Muda means something which is worthless, which has no substance to it. So Mudapasana means belief in something that is worthless, something which has no meaning, no substance, no essence. And for humans, what is substantial or essential in life is first of all sila, morality at the start, to avoid doing things by way of body and speech that are wrong to do. So this is our first basic, this is our the first basic wealth that we gain from this path. And then we need to have an attitude of goodwill towards others, wanting their welfare, metta, wanting them not to suffer, karuna, and to be without jealousy or envy, but to have the quality of sympathetic joy, mudita, and also to understand that we all go according to our karma. Everything has its cause, so to have a balanced, equanimous attitude. These four make up what it is to have a humane heart or humane mentality. And if one practices satipatthana and the noting becomes good, so that the observing mind occurs one after another without a break, as though the mind just lines up in a row, then knowledge will blossom stage by stage, starting with the discernment of mind and matter. When knowledge matures, then one goes from observing the endless stream of mind and matter arising and passing away to the observation of that which has no arising and passing away, apavata. One experiences then a happiness that is free of sensations. One gains this peace. And at that point, although one had basic human intelligence to begin with, one has become a person who has special human knowledge. So this is what makes up the essence of life for us. To have sila, the practice of sila, morality, the practice of samadhi, concentration, the practice of wisdom, panya. And if we work to possess these three, and if we come to possess them, then we will become a person who is truly human, who has a humane heart and mentality, and who, being an intelligent human, has special human knowledge. If at that stage, then one won't believe in anything worthless. There will be no mudapassana. That won't happen anymore. So if one doesn't practice, however, to reach firm ground, to reach this point of being decisive, possessing decisive faith, then in the next life, one could end up believing in something worthless. So if that happens, then one won't be able to progress, one won't be able to go forward. So practice is to try to become free of existence as a stupid being. And the road is open. So the yogis should just have the attitude that my job is to keep on walking along this path, not to let the road close up. So to make the aspiration that may I be able to continue walking this path. And now as the yogis are about to return, Sayadawgyi this is what he wants to urge you to do. So instead of being unable to master oneself and therefore having one's own individual world destroyed. If one can practice the practice of Satipatthana Bhavana, mental development of Satipatthana, and develop the ruling powers, starting with faith, one will be able to control oneself so that one's individual world will not be destroyed, and so that the world around one also will not be destroyed. So Sayadawgyi wants to urge you all to try to do this, to try to practice so that you may develop the ability to control yourself, to govern and rule yourself with the ruling powers. This is his instruction at the successful completion of this 60-day Satipatthana retreat. And he hopes and urges you all, hopes that you will all be able to do as instructed. That is all for today.